We back on the Way Different show. I'm here with no other cover girl model, Nijie. And I got my main man, Remy on the side, greatest coach of all time. Best believe that.
Yes.
And plus, we just got to call in. Wade just call in. He call in from where? Wade, you on the line?
The one and only is on the line. Good evening, everybody.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, Mr. Remy?
Yeah, we got him here for you, man, so you could work on your shot for you, because you've been losing pretty bad against me.
Oh, here we go. But I just want to say I know y'all got two of my favorite people in the house with Nijie and Remy, so let's get down to it then. I need my shot worked on, as he said.
You definitely
I seen you shoot, man. You still dominate them guys at LA Fitness.
Oh.
Thank you, Remy. Thank you. Somebody's watching.
Are you serious? He shoot like he throwing away his laundry.
Yeah, but to tell y'all the truth, man, I just got through doing a mini camp up here, and we shot afterwards, and my nephew, by marriage, he killed us. And I couldn't hit a bucket, man. I was just sad.
That sounds familiar.
He right. I need my shot work on.
I got you.
He waiting on you when you come back.
But welcome back, Nijie.
Thank you.
You sound just as beautiful as always.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate it.
Remy,
yes, sir.
One of the questions I have for you is, you train a lot of professional players, but you train a lot of youth too. And some of these youth are watching you train the professional players. And how do you start the conversation with them about if they want to be just like you, if they want to train professional players like you, or not only just train them, but have that desire to do the same thing that you're doing? That's the question for you right now for me.
That's a great question. You know what? A lot of the trainers out here, they look at me like a mentor. So they talk to me, and I listen to their stories. And, I always tell them this is not a fallback career. It's not, hey, I didn't make it in basketball, so I want to go train kids. I've had a lot of different callings to show me that this is what I was supposed to do, inspire the youth. So just listening to different stories, I know that this was my calling from, different situations. Like, for instance, in high school, my high school coach was a great coach, and we had to play against this team that was in our district, and they beat our butts so bad the first game of the season. They're in our district, so in order to move on in the playoffs, we know we're going to have to face them later on. We played them again, and they beat our butts again. So first round of the playoffs, we win, and then now we got to go play them to get to the next round. So this will be the third time. So as we're practicing for this game, we're doing the same old thing. And I'm like, listen, Coach, we can't keep doing the same old thing or it's going to be the same result. The guts, for me to have the guts to speak to my coach, which was my mentor, like a father figure, and pull him to the side respectively and just show him, like, listen, I'm not just talking to talk. I have the reasons why and the different things that we need to do, I think, as a team for us to be successful. And that included me taking myself out the starting lineup, not because I was proving a point, because I wanted to be a lot bigger. I wanted to show us that we had more size and rim protection because they scored a lot of points in the paint. And I wanted to be instant offense off the bench because we didn't have a lot of scoring off the bench. So adjusting there and a lot more different other adjustments that we made, we ended up winning. And he told me, I remember the next day, that he used to miss practice every Wednesday because he was very high into the church. So he used to go to Bible study, do different things on Wednesdays. And he said, I don't know what you're going to do with basketball. I don't know whether it's going to be in the NBA or something, but you're going to be doing something very, very high in the basketball field. I don't know what it is. Obviously, you couldn't tell if you're going to make it to the NBA at that point, but he knew it, that this was something that I was going to do. And I've had numerous callings, but something like that was something that I knew that, hey, I got to take this basketball thing to the next level. So when I talk to kids, I'm like, listen, don't make it a fallback career. This is something that you have to love to do, inspiring, being patient. Like I was speaking earlier, understanding how people think. This is real thorough things that you got to go into in order to be something that I am right now. It's not just pick up a basketball and try to make somebody better. It's not. It's way more inclusive than what they see on an Instagram or on a Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, I heard you say that you had to find your passion. Is there a time when you see a person that you're working with, and you see that, they probably there for basketball training, but you see that they might should have a passion for something else other than that, and you tell them about
Well, absolutely. Depending on the age, when you talk about young kids, a lot of parents, I get a lot of emails, a lot of different, ways parents try to contact me to get their kids started. The first thing I do is I say they need to fall in love with basketball first before even coming in the gym. They need to watch basketball because, even at like my son who's 6 years old, he started at 4 and was very good because this was a part of my life, and I didn't force him, but he was already YouTubing. He was already watching so many moves. So when I'm teaching him, he can't do it off the first time of me teaching, but he's already visualized it. He's already saw it, so it's a lot easier to process the move so that it's easier to learn. And, I like to tell kids that, don't just come in the gym. And you can tell those kids that are the ones that are their parents are kicking them out their car and they want them to just have extracurricular activity, and they wonder why they don't get better because they don't want to be there, mind, body, and soul. They're just there physically.
it. Yeah. Is there a time when you uh, look at kids and think about, them working so hard and doing all this AAU and all of this type of stuff? Is there a time where you see that they might be burnt out by the time they get to the level that they really trying to reach?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different now. In this day, like I was just talking to somebody about it. Back in the day, you really only had at the elite level, you only had like 3 or 4 chances to show college coaches that that you were good. Now there's so many circuits and so many Nike circuit, Adidas circuit, Reebok circuit, and there's 30 tournaments, 3 games in one day, and like you said, kids getting burnt out. Absolutely, I think kids should be preparing mentally on a different note than just playing AAU all the time, because playing a bunch of games sometimes doesn't just get you better. Sometimes if you're not dominating or you're not a key person, on these teams and you're contributing at a high level, you got to take a step back. You got to take a step back and say, you know what, I need to work on my game before I'm playing all these games, because it's pointless if you're not a key contributor or you're not doing key things in the game where it's sticking out, and college coaches are able to say, hey, that kid can impact my college team. If you're not good enough to be making these impacts in games, you got to take a step back, because all you're doing exactly what you said is burning yourself out.
Well, I want to just thank you, man, for everything you're doing to make an impact on our family members and our community, bro.
Nah, no problem, man. I appreciate it.
All right, that's it from the one and only, y'all.
I was like, wow, there's a lot of
Yes.
game being told. I'm like, I'm quiet today. I thought I was gonna be out here ripping questions.
I know. I
But-
thought it was really dope though.
Yeah.
That last part, because you do see these young boys out here and they're playing game after the game after game, and that was a good point to say, do they get burnt out before they get that big
Yeah.
shot?
For
Wow.
sure.
I would have never thought about it.
My big thing to you is that Way is always big on fatherhood, and I'm gonna be honest right now. The reason why I'm so quiet, I didn't expect this type of mannerism to be expressed from you. I don't know what I was expecting.
Okay, because I want to know.
Yeah, but I don't know. But just watching, I think just watching from social media, you just see, all right, you work with this guy. Like you might be working with UD or Whiteside or John Wall. I'm just making sure the people know that you got some names under your belt. But I didn't know your upbringing is the reason why you're so successful. I probably would think it's just a passion, or you was just that guy, and then you just say, I'm gonna make a business out of it. But I didn't. But hearing how you say you want to be like your father, suit and tie every day on time. I didn't grow up with a father, so hearing that, it's like it sounds foreign to me. So I hear it as a thing like, oh, it's possible.
Right.
Sure.
Like
Absolutely.
something like that. Does that exist?
Right.
Because I kind of missed out on a lot. You know what I mean? And I know people might be viewing in like they may not have the same experience that your son or you had to your father.
Yep.
So I got to speak from a single parent household.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is kind of foreign to me. And being around Wade, I get to hear a lot of testimonies from people who grew up from their fathers, who had a father, or just watching Wade himself, how he communicate with his son on the low that people don't know about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to say, it's nice to hear that. You know, it's like a foreign conversation to hear that your dad was the blueprint. Just shout out. Blueprint. Shout out to Blueprint. But your dad was the blueprint, and you used them same qualities that he instilled in you into the game you got today.
Absolutely. You're able to take, even though it wasn't basketball, you're able to take his qualities and instill it in mine and use it in that sense. Just like basketball as a team sport, it's so many different things that you can get from basketball that's going to help you in life. It's going to help you in life, communication, teamwork, all of that.
After this is all said and done, and you've reached the passion that you think that you're just trying to reach and training, where does it go when it's all over with and you no longer want to train, that you no longer want to have the passion for training? What do you do next? And
what's the next step after?
Well, I'm definitely going to still be a part of the game. I'm going to be a part of the game in some capacity.
Head coach?
You know,
something.
I turn down NBA jobs all the time.
For real?
Yeah, absolutely. I turn them down because this is my passion right now. Because I want to be able to continue still working with youth, and through social media, you would think, and this is a big problem, you know. And I'm working with my team. To an average kid, it looks intimidating. Typically, I think, like you said,
it looks intimidating.
I don't think that I can even get this guy to get in the gym, but it's the complete opposite. When they try, they're like, I get so many DMs that's like, I don't think you're going to answer this, or I don't think you're going to see this, and I answer it right away. And they're like, wow,
Facts,
like,
telling the truth.
I didn't think that you were going to answer this. No, because my super passion is to develop kids, develop young athletes into professionals. I love that feeling. I love sending guys to college. I love giving them an opportunity to better their education, further their education, to be something in life. Doesn't have to be a basketball player. I always tell them, like, this skill of basketball is enabling you to enhance your mind, get free education so that you can become something. The mind is bigger than any Spalding basketball. So you might play 13 years and be done. Like you said, what do I want to do when I'm done, right? I'm going to continue expanding within my mind through the basketball to continue to stay relevant in the basketball world.
Continue to reinvent yourself.
Absolutely. You know, so.
It was something you said when you said you deal with the different basketball players. I had a question a little bit earlier. How do you deal with the different characters and traits, that come to you? Do you feel like it transfers? Do you feel like that weight is carried on you? How do you deal with it?
Explain that question one more time.
So, say for instance, any of the players, everyone has their own characteristics. They have their own traits. They have their own things.
I got you.
Yeah, that they.
How does it weigh on me?
Correct.
Okay, well, that's another great question. I know we were talking a little bit off air about it. So many people depend on me to make them great or enhance their abilities. And the way I train, it's not just on the basketball court. We train off the court mentally as well. And through that, you have to deal with different players' problems in their homes, outside of their homes. And you almost become a life coach. You almost become a psychiatrist, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is get you better. This is me, one person. It's not a coach that has to worry about 15 other players. It's me worrying about you specifically, your every movement, your whereabouts. And it's so important for me to, like I said, get into your life, because this is the way I know how to teach you, because everybody is different. So when you got 20 different problems, you're working with 20 different NBA players, and you got 20 different problems on your shoulders, sometimes it weighs on you because you want to fix it so bad. And, sometimes professional help is what they might need. But, through that, you develop different things. Like I said, I developed anxiety through it. I've developed major anxiety through wanting to be great and help people at all costs, because this is like my passion, to make sure that my job is finished and is successful at what I do. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of mental time. And sometimes you develop things like anxiety when it's time to release everything out your brain. It's like a cap. It's like letting you know, okay, anxiety is the warning shot to let you know, all right, you need a break. You need to release. You need to release.
I was just gonna
how
ask
do you
you.
identify that?
Yeah, or that, and then when it's time to take that break, what does a break look like for you? Because just hearing you, I don't even think. Do you take breaks?
No, it's difficult.
It doesn't even.
It's
It
difficult.
sounds like
you know, it's every hour on the hour. When you're done working, you think that you're done, but now you're getting the conversations at night. You know, hey, I seen you were a little bit not here today. Talk to me. What's going on? Like, that's me. See, I don't just leave it at the gym. Something's going on with you. Nah, nothing going on, man. Like, nah, listen, I know you. I've been around you a long time, and that's when start pouring it out. The emotions, the tears, the conversations, and then their problem become yours because it's like you care about the player so much. And it's not just on the court that you want their problems to be fixed. We try to find different outlets, and it's just somebody that cares sometimes gets them over the hump because at the end of the day, when you're first generation money, everyone got your money, their hand out.
Yes.
You become the doctor, and you ain't got no doctor degree, right?
Yeah.
Just because you're in the NBA.
That's how it is.
Hey, how do you fix this cut? How do I know?
Exactly.
You know, or you know, my grandmother, you know, she needs this, doctor bills, this, that, and other. Not even how you doing today. You know, so that brings anxiety on them. So to have somebody that they can just talk to, pour out their problems, and just speak, now that helps me do my job better because you come to the court with an empty mind, ready to learn.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So we got to, in order for you to be receptive, because I can look in your eyes when you're working out and know that you're just doing it in emotion, or when you're doing it with your soul and your heart and your passion, so it can translate to the game.
Yeah.
So when you're in the gym, just to be in the gym and you're not there mentally, it's not going to work. It's not going to.
What happens when you can't get through to them? Do you break down?
And Remy, I just want to know, at the end of the day, the lights go off in the gym and Remy's going to his car and the door opens at home. How does it weigh on your family?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yes, that's a great question, because one thing that always helps is when you walk through and guess the one type of person who doesn't care about what kind of day you're having and they're going to just get their point across is your kids.
I know.
They don't care that you're upset. Hey, Daddy, how you doing? Let's have fun. Let's play. Let me see the smile on your face. That right there is able to take my mind off of whatever I got going on. And then you got your beautiful family, your wife, right, who's there to just pat you on the back. Hey, I don't care what's going on. Hey, how are you doing?